love creating, and I like the idea of mastery and just getting better at something. Recently, I just came out of the Halloween season, so kind of a fun thing is like I do the pumpkin sculpture. That's a little bit different, so we won't go into that, but that's fun. And then besides that, it's the mural and commissions, portrait commissions. For Christmas, I've got a batch of clients that are all just interested in the charcoal work that I've only been putting it on my social media just because it's something I really, really enjoy. And that created enough buzz to where, I've got some opportunity to do some a wedding portrait of a couple, and I'm doing a couple clients. One, I'm doing a series of their 3 animals, and then for another client, it's their 2 dogs. Clients in Overland Park commissioned me to do 4 walls, about 10 by 8 foot walls, in their nursery for their newborn girl. They really love Lord of the Rings. Funny enough, they don't like hobbits and they don't like elves, so they were looking for sort of bespoke, kind of more like focused on like the human fantasy of like this world. And I've been doing that for a few months now. Probably expect a few more weeks left on it. It just knowing that there is a structure, there's an opportunity to learn how to think about the art really helped keep me anchored and grounded during such a daunting project. Even going through 2 colleges, I'd never learned this really important foundational stuff, right? Because when you go to a big college, you sign up for their classes, but you kind of get ping-ponged around, pinballed around. And it's like, if you're lucky, you hit teacher A and, like lab B, and, you get your education. But mostly when you look around, you don't. So that's where studying with someone like you, it's like I'm not signing up for $55,000, $100,000 in debt. I'm paying this amount of money and I'm gonna get this learning from this person. I had started I went to a regular school. I went to the University of Kansas, right? Didn't go to a lot of my classes, wore moccasins, and just wasn't working out. So I quickly went to art school. That was the School of Visual Arts in New York City. So I learned a lot of stuff, but I didn't get as much as I wanted from art school. And I went to a second art school. Kind of realized that these kinds of art schools weren't for me. And I finished my education outside of that program. I didn't have a structure for what I was thinking about. My process was like additive and destructive and back and forth. And so when I first started your courses, like the idea of like laying in even the first part of a portrait would be hours, and internally I'm really struggling because I'm in the dark. After going through your classes, there's a noticeable change. It's now I have tools that I can apply in stages, and rather than being in an empty void, now I'm on a road with a flashlight. There's signs on the road. I can see a glow in the distance. I know that stage is coming. I can understand where I'm going from here to there. And it just helps me create structure and value with my time. My future, COVID has been crazy, so I've just been utilizing the time, basically as much time as I'm allowed to focus on art. And so for me, that's continuing to constantly study realism. I'm working on a website. I'm developing digital images to have a print store on my website. I'm looking to set up shooting my analog work so I can have prints of that available. And I think kind of far into the future, I would really love, I really like teaching. I'd like to stabilize myself, kind of have a business rolling, and then have the clout and the kind of shift into, helping other artists. I've been to 1 3/4 of an art school, right? I could tell you the cost is astronomical. You know, and debt is dangerous, right? So it's all the more reason, after doing all of that learning, I've really learned the importance of working directly with artists. And I tell people all the time, I would avoid the idea of investing in almost all 4-year traditional programs. Big kind of lesson to all of this is like, man, I wish I didn't start this with like a sizable amount of debt that I didn't even understand. You know, so, you know, I wish I had started with a class like your foundation to oil or drawing, or, you know, even drawing a model. I think it's so much more healthy for everyone, you know, and valuable.